But we want to get a sense of where the softwood industry is here in Canada right now. This is after politicians from BC and Ottawa met in Vancouver for a forestry summit on how to support the struggling lumber industry in the face of U.S. tariffs. For more on what the outcome was, we are joined by Brian Menzies. He's the Executive Director of the Independent Wood Processors of BC. Good morning.
Good morning, Anne-Marie.
So give us an update. What came out of the talks yesterday?
Well, I think these talks were important for British Columbia because we've seen a lot of talk about energy and steel and aluminum products, especially when there was a meeting between Prime Minister Carney and President Trump. But we didn't hear anything about softwood lumber, and we're concerned that we're going to be left out of any sort of negotiations with the United States. Minister LeBlanc came to British Columbia and spoke to us, and Premier Eby, and I think that was a very important conversation for us.
Could you set up for us where the lumber industry sits in terms of, when you compare it to something like automakers in this country, for example, and what the state of the lumber industry is right now?
Well, yesterday, and we've heard this time and time again, about over 200,000 people in the lumber industry across Canada are involved in this. Of course, British Columbia is close to 50% of that as far as employment is concerned. Our industry, we employ quite 16 to 17,000 people directly, but we're having some difficulties right now keeping people employed. So
some of the companies that you represent are thinking in terms of weeks and not months. What does the lumber industry need to stay afloat?
Well, I mean, the difficulty is the products that we make are the value-added type products, or the kind of the nice stuff you see in your homes, the siding, the decking, the flooring, those sort of things. What we want to do in Canada is make sure our natural resources aren't just shipped away. We want to make sure that we create more value out of them and more jobs. Our industry, the difficulty we're facing right now is that we have to pay the tariff in order to sell into the United States. And at 45%, it's just astronomical. There is no business going on across the border right now.
I know you're going to be watching closely when the federal budget is released today. What do you need to see for your industry in that?
Well, I understand the difficulties the federal government has for finances. We all do right now. And we're not looking for a handout, but we are looking for a way to secure some of the deposits on the that are sitting at the border right now, over $10 billion. Usually after negotiations, some of that is returned. We just would like to see some of it returned ahead of time while these negotiations get underway, if they will get underway. So.
I want to thank you for joining us, Brian Menzies, Executive Director of the Independent Wood Processors of BC. Thanks.
Thank you very much for your time.
If you like that video, make sure to subscribe to the Your Morning YouTube feed, where you can find all kinds of new content posted every weekday morning.